This is Neil Carroll. Neil is with Nickel City, where am I, Graphics? We are now partnering with him. We want to speak about that.
I don't have the final details.
Okay. All right. Well, we should have final details on the partnership going forward from marketing. So we're not going to talk about that, but Neil will talk about what he's able to provide us for listings.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, when I get a chance to talk to Arun, I'm going to give you just a little bit of background on like what we do for businesses, and we've actually done quite a bit of work for Hunt in some of these areas. So what we do is video, and I know that's confusing because of the name, Nickel City Graphics, but the idea of the name back when I started the company in 2008 was that we were going to provide motion graphics and animation for other video production companies, and then we just kind of ended up doing the whole video production thing. So this is where we focus all of our attention on video because it's personal, you can target it really well, you're able to show off, which you'll see with the product that we developed with Hunt. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this on my phone. There's some sort of big text exchange between friends here, so that may pop up a few times, but what can go wrong will go wrong, I guess, with the presentation. Video is very affordable too, so you can actually, I know from the Zillow event that I was involved with out in Rochester with Hunt, they have a product where you can walk through the house and just shoot video of yourself. So it's as simple as using your cell phone, really, if you want to get into it at the base level. And probably most importantly, it's popular. Like, people are starting to expect it in all types of businesses. And real estate has traditionally been very much images, but you may see a shift with some of the new tech that's coming out here. So I'm just going to touch real quickly on the three legs that we three legs of our service, and by doing that, you'll have a little more context for when we get to the end. So we do distribution. We do this for Hunt corporate videos through Google's display network, and that's included in the product that we get into too. It's a great way to get the word out because it covers 90% of internet users. You can target by demographic like you can with a lot of digital advertising, which I'm sure a lot of people in the room are familiar with, but more importantly, you can target with these affinity groups that Google develops. So Google has info on what you're browsing for when you go online, and so if you have somebody who's visiting the Hunt site, visiting Zillow, looking at a lot of different real estate listings, they'll end up in an affinity group that we can then target through Google AdWords as a home buyer, a potential home buyer. And then we bake that distribution into most of our video products. This one's probably less relevant to this particular presentation, but we do a lot of consulting with companies too, where we will, if you're looking to do some of your own stuff, we do equipment recommendations, training, we help with developing concepts as well. All right, so now we're getting closer to the 360 stuff. The main arm of what we do is the actual production of videos for the web. We produce almost exclusively for the web, and part of that is just because we feel like that's the best channel to get your video out there. People traditionally think of TV and other mediums like that, but you can put your message right in front of the right people when you do video for the web. Our approach, as you can probably see by the single camera that I'm recording this presentation with, is lighter, cheaper, faster, right? Like, on most of my productions, it's myself, maybe an assistant. I don't know if anybody saw the recruitment videos that we did last year for Hunt, but our total crew at any given time on those shoots is 2 people, right? So we have a real different approach than the older video production companies on that. But even so, we're able to keep it very high quality. And then we build in that exposure with the guaranteed views that we were talking about. So this is where we get a little more into it. We one arm that we try to always focus on every year is new technology, right? So this year we're focusing on kind of reinventing our live streaming service, and then the 360 video, which is what we'll talk about the rest of the time. So how many people saw the 360 video that we did for Fisher Homes? There's a couple people. Did you get it? Did it all work out for you? I know there's sometimes some technical issues with new technology, but we did that as kind of step one in developing a new product, which would be 360 home tours. But we'll talk about the actual video to start. 360 video is recorded with the 360 camera. This is the one that we currently are using, but the technology is so kind of new that I would imagine within 3 months or so, we'll probably be upgraded beyond that. But this guy is a 4K camera. There's a lens on either side, fisheye, so everybody's on going to show up in the video feed when that's all said and done, with the exception of hiding behind cubicles and stuff like that. What it does is it creates a video sphere, right? So if you think about it like being inside of a big, video ball, the viewer will essentially, with this recording that we're doing now, would be standing right where the camera is, and they'll be able to kind of scan around the room from that vantage point. We use some specialized software to add graphics to that 3D space, and the kind of magic of this special software is that you can put those graphics in different places and have them, kind of look right? Like they don't get all weird and distorted and stuff. They show up in that space as they should look. The resolution of 360 cameras, if you were to buy one of your own, you can go as low as a regular HD resolution, and they're coming out with one. It's supposed to be out midway through the summer that's going to shoot in 8K. So anybody who's got the 4K TV and has seen the difference between that and your HD video, they're going up to 8K for this because you've got so much ground to cover when you look at things spherically. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. So it creates an immersive video experience, right? It can make you kind of feel like you are in the place that we're making a video about, which can be helpful when you're trying to use it to sell a house, right? So there are a few different ways to view it. I was going to demo the VR headset. Has anybody done VR? Oh man, I really blew it then by not bringing all the equipment, right? So there are VR headsets like this. Sometimes video games and stuff are using them not a lot now. Have you used them there? No. Yeah. But it's a pretty cool experience, right? You feel like you're in the spot, and you have to buy special equipment to really do it that way, which is what it is when it comes. When it comes to trying to use it for sales. So the more important parts of this are that it's usable on any computer with an updated browser, right, through Facebook or YouTube or a couple other platforms they're using it, but those are the two major ones. Vimeo just rolled it out last week. Or on your smartphone. So this is the spot where we can, I'll do a little demo up here, but if anybody would like to check it out on their own phone, I'll also kind of point you in the direction of our videos. All right, so some people have already seen the real estate tour, so we'll try something different here. Okay, so as you can see, in the image quality is a little lagged out, but as you can see, the way this works is that as I turn, right, the image quality, or the image turns too. So I look up, and you see the trees, right? I look right, and you see my text message. Oop. So, what do we do here? All right. It's not coming across great on the projector itself. You can look down and see the bike helmet of the rider, who's got the camera up on their helmet. So this is just like, I guess, an example that's not in the house. This is down at LaSalle. Maybe I've ridden that bike path, but oh my Lord, figures, right? I have to do this right when I'm doing my presentation. So that is a good example, and if we wait just a moment here, we've got to look for, yep, there's the lady with her dog. We put in graphics over here. There were some earlier, but you can see how you can put the graphics in space, right? We created this video as part of an RFP for kind of a bicycle tourism grant that's going to be going on this year. So there's that. Does anybody want to give it a shot on their own? I can give you a couple pointers on how to get it up and get it working. Anybody? Yeah? All right. So fire up your phone and go, if you go to Facebook, is probably the easiest way to make sure we get where we're going. That was through YouTube, as you can see. And you can see the preview even in the bottom as you kind of move around, is still kind of doing its thing in that video sphere. So, if anybody wants to, you can go to Facebook on your phone. If you go to Nickel City Graphics, our top pinned post is going to be the post that Dan Bursky put out last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, with the virtual tour that I'll bring up here as well. So. This is about fantasy football, I believe, so that's why there's so much action.
All very important.
Yeah. All right. So I'll run through this, but if anybody wants to do it on their own, it's as simple as, somebody's got something going over there, right? It's as simple as, Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you can see Deacon, he's doing the walkthrough. I don't have the audio on, but we're able to put his logo, his contact information the whole time he's kind of doing this walkthrough. We have the ability to put in some information, about the rooms. We just did simple stuff, name the room size, a couple of different aspects about it, and he kind of continues to walk through, and we look at the rest of the home. So there's the kitchen, and he talks a lot about that, and just kind of goes on from there. He covers this 1,750 square foot house in 4.5 minutes. So you'd probably pick and choose if you wanted to show one of these. If it, you go 20 minutes, you're going to lose your audience on it. But
is there audio?
There is audio.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it shut off, but it'll only come out of my phone. So yeah, Deacon is talking. Let's see if we can hear him.
We chose to put granite countertops
So there you go.
throughout on the large island. We have
And this is the type of
updated
thing too that,
lighting package as well as a little bit of plumbing upgrades as well, plumbing fixtures.
that image quality
All of
here
the models will have
looks
a
little
pantry.
better than what we're
Yeah.
dealing with up there, right? 'Cause
We
it's
chose to also add the backsplash.
full phone and anybody wants to try it out in
Off the kitchen
audience,
is our
feel
laundry
free,
room.
but,
We added
you know,
in cabinetry
no? All right.
as well as a sink. You can see some of our tile and flooring options. Those are hardwood options. We have many options for hardwoods as well as for
So
tiles.
we,
We have options for carpet. We have all different.
We put this together not long ago, and you know, the model house is a great opportunity for this type of video, right? Everything looks beautiful. Do the walkthrough and stuff. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Because I've only got a couple slides left, so we'll get back to those. So. I was showing it through YouTube. Did you get it to work on Facebook? Some other people got it to work on Facebook. Those are the two best platforms right now because the technology is the technology works well on some of those major platforms. But when people start, you know, if you start doing a couple different things, you can have some issues with viewing. So if you have a good Facebook presence, if you have a good YouTube presence, then things will work well there. Why would you want to use this type of tech to show off your phone? You're able to kind of put buyers in the house itself, so they can see a little bit more than they could with pictures or anything like that. They can kind of feel what it's like going from, you know, say the living room to the dining room. They can check out light fixtures. I don't know, things that maybe you wouldn't be taking individual pictures of. And they might have, if everything goes according to plan, that, I want that house type moment before they ever even step foot in it. So they get to experience the property a little bit more completely than they would through images. Video in general is a bit more engaging to viewers in terms of like kind of keeping them on your page. And this video has shown to be, there's some case studies out there that, you know, that it'll be, I think it was 4.5 times is what I saw this morning. People watch 4.5 times more video because there's so much more to see. And the third reason is you could gain traction with prospective sellers by including this kind of thing with your marketing package. If you sit down and you talk to a seller and the next person sits down and they're offering this type of thing, like there's the differentiation point, right? The seller who really feels like they have the most amazing home and everybody needs to see it is probably the perfect candidate for this type of video, right? It also gives you a little more face time if you want it with potential buyers, you know, because you can be on camera there. We are shooting one at the end of the week where the agent doesn't want to be on camera. That's also an option. We're just going to do a series of stills that kind of walk through the house, but still give you the 360 technology there. Yeah, it's not for everyone, right? Like I can't imagine my grandmother sitting down and watching the 360 tour on her phone, but younger buyers, younger sellers too, people who have kind of a little bit of a tech savvy bent, and very busy people it could be great for as well. People who maybe don't want to spend a lot of time walking through a million houses, they would rather see it.
Also out-of-town buyers.
Out-of-town buyers.
This would be very beneficial for them.
Yeah, there's, we've talked about investors and stuff as well, though you wouldn't want to, if it's a lower price house, right? But yeah, out-of-town buyers who are moving into the area, that's a great point. Because they're in town for a couple of days and they don't want to go to every single house in the world. They could have a better idea of what they're getting into. All right, and now this part Dan and I did work out, which is this is what's involved with the with that tour that we saw, and then this is the part that Dan and I worked out. So for Hunt, we're cutting that price in half, so that we'll do some time on site. The agent is going to be the one on camera, but we will, or we can do the video or the still version. The edited full-length video ends up being about 5 minutes long. We add in graphics like we showed. We do the stock music, so you can kind of give it a little bit of your own flavor. And then we also include 500 of the guaranteed views that I mentioned. So that's going to put that video out in front of people who are looking at houses. And then the beauty of that too, because it's all kind of through Google that happens, is it'll only show up on devices that are able to like handle that type of video too. So if you were, I don't know, watching video on YouTube, it would show up there. But if you're watching an embedded player on a website, it might not show up there. But you can use it with the same type of thing we were talking about with the affinity audiences. So that's all that slides. Yeah, there we go. So you get to see a little bit about my fantasy football league and my Dixie video today.
Can you pay by
So,
PayPal is the question.
Yeah. So any questions at all? I don't know how long I have there.
No, you're right on time.
All right.
You're doing good.
I can drag sometimes. So.
No, you're doing great. If anybody doesn't have any questions, do you have cards?
I do have
Okay,
cards.
perfect. We'll
Do
give,
you want me to pass them around? Or?
Yes, if you don't mind passing
Okay.
them around. And once we have more information from Dan, in marketing, we'll get it out to them also.